Good evening and welcome to Pomo Arts, the virtual artist talk and tour for Ghislain Brown-Kossi. I'm Janice Cotter, the gallery manager at Pomo Arts. I'm always nervous in front of the camera, so I even put my name on my notes. Before we start this evening, I'd like to express my gratitude to our Pomo Arts Board of Directors, the Government of Canada, the Province of British Columbia, and the City of Port Moody for their financial support. Since our first exhibitions of 2021 opened last Thursday, it's been wonderful to have people able to come and view them in the gallery. Pomo Arts continues to do hybrid exhibitions so that people can enjoy the artwork in the gallery or in the comfort of their own home. With a virtual visit to the artist exhibition page on Pomo Arts' website. Each show has an online digital gallery that you can click on and then scroll through to see the artwork photos, artwork details, and find out more about the artists. You can also support our artists by sharing information about their exhibitions, coming to visit them in person, or supporting them by purchasing artwork either online or in person. In 2021, our focus in the gallery is on stories that are inspiring the artists and how these narratives are influencing their artwork. Last week, Sonia Wasiak spoke about her exhibition, A New Resilience. If you missed that, you can still see the video on our Facebook event video. It's still on Facebook. On January 28th, Matt Holmstrom will join us to give a talk and tour of his exhibition, Timeless Pastimes. This evening, I have the pleasure of introducing Ghislain Brown-Kossi. And he's here to tell us about his exhibition, his inspirations, and his art practice. But first, I'll get him to tell us a little bit about himself. I'm going to go out and Ghislain will come in. Thanks.
Hi guys. Hi, I'm Ghislain Brown-Kossi. I'm from France. I moved to Vancouver 4 years ago. My background is fashion, so I was doing fashion when I was in France. I was also like store manager, selling things in retail. And in 2017, like 2016, I got my work permit to move to Vancouver, to move to Canada, and I chose to move to Vancouver because like the nature, also like the lifestyle, so I chose to come here. So since here, I'm doing like, I'm still working in fashion just for myself, because I like fashion, I still like fashion. But I'm working also like in the movie industry in Vancouver since 4 years with IATSE. And as like emerging artist and also like becoming professional. So I'm doing some painting during my free time. So it's like every weekend or at the end of the day when I'm done at work. So I'm doing some artworks at home.
All right, and what was the inspiration for your exhibition, Are We Still Together? And what is its message?
Are we still together is a question about like the social relationship and communication between people. So the message was like, are we still doing something for ourselves or are we doing something for the world? So we are in, like there is a big change going on at all the levels, like political, social, economical, technological. And my question was to paint all the question about our society with color, bubble, with form, with symbol. So I don't have the answer, are you still together? So I hope we are together. But it's a question about like, are we going on the good way to make the world better, or are we going to just like still keeping to do like a big mess?
And tell us about the style you've used for the artwork in this exhibition.
So my start is contemporary. So my style is contemporary. I'm inspired by the pop art. I like the pop art, but also with a social approach. So I'm very, I like my art to mean something, not just doing some art to do some art. I want to mean something through my art, and I use like the pop art and the color and the some.
Awesome. And what is your creative process?
My creative process is very long. So, I mean, I start to do everything in my head first. So I have the vision, also like the color, also the form, also the message. So I think about that like during maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It depends on the artwork. And sometimes, so I'm just gonna do like some sketches, but like 1 or 2 sketches. But I wait till everything is very mature in my head, and after that I go on canvas and do like my artworks.
And let's talk about the 2 downtown paintings. So we're gonna go over here. How do those tie into the exhibition?
So downtown painting is the idea of downtown, like downtown Vancouver, the first one. So this one is like downtown 3 and downtown 4. So I made 2 other downtown for like the past exhibition mindset. But the idea of downtown is the idea as we go every day on downtown Vancouver, or maybe downtown Paris, downtown Los Angeles. So we meet like hundreds of people, like when you go for shopping, or when you go for a walk, or if you go for sport. And we meet some people, but there is no conversation. So we just like, okay, so we look at each other without saying something. So it's like a languages, like the body languages, but also like by the look of the eyes, and also like the colors represent like the different people. So like you have blue and pink, and also here you have the blue and pink and yellow. So it's like means the different community, means like the difference by maybe the religions, maybe by the race, maybe by the world. But as you can see, we are still interconnected. So there is some things going on, but there is no world. So this is the idea of downtown 4 and downtown 3.
Wonderful. And now we're going to move on to your Bibu paintings. So we'll just take a little stroll. These are quite large.
Yeah.
So this series includes 12 24 by 24 inch paintings. Is there a significance to the number of pieces, the layout, and the color palette in the series?
I'm gonna start by the colors, because the colors give you like emotion, give you also, it's another form of communication, and the color means like the different people. So the difference give us the richness, give us like the culture. So this one come from maybe from France, so this one come from like New Zealand or UK. So it's like the different community around the world. I didn't do like 12 pieces. I did 12 pieces because it was like 4 by 4 was easier to put on the wall. So there wasn't signification about like 12 pieces about Bibu, but as you can see, it's like a giant puzzle. So we are all a part of this giant puzzle. This one could be me, this one could be you, or this one could be other one. So means like we are in the bubbles. Each people are in the bubbles. So sometimes they try to speak to each other, or maybe they can be scared or afraid about the other people. But there is also like here, you can see also like a border. So it's like I'm going to speak with someone, or should I stay in my bubble, or should I just look each other? So this is the idea of Bibu. So Bibu is like the unity of people around the world, but it's also like the question: are we trying to talk each other, or are we going to stay and just look at each other?
Great. And we're going to come and talk about the other Bibu eyes. So we'll come back on this side.
Yeah. So Bibu eyes is the continuity. So everything is like, for sure, is like the continuity of what I did before. But Bibu eyes is like the eyes without frame. So it's like without faces. So it gives us like the possibility to imagine like the infinity faces who could be behind the eyes. So it could be like we are right now in the crisis. So there is like things like COVID, and we don't see. I didn't do it by purpose because I made this before the COVID, but it's kind of remind us who is behind the mask or who is behind the ace, and ask us, are this guy or are this girl are pretty, or are this girl are cool, or so can give you the ID and ask us like about the curiosity to the look behind the mask without faces.
Wonderful. And there are two symbol paintings. Can you tell me about them?
Symbol. So the symbol is very, for me, I like the symbol. I like everything here, but symbol is, for me, is like my favorite painting. First, so you have two different kind of communication in this. So there is like the old communication with the symbols, and there is like the new communication with the emoji. So the emoji is like what we're using every day through the cell phone, through the computer, or when you send like some image or some text message. So you can feel like some emotion through the emoji. But it reminds us like we have to do like the new world and the old world have to stay together. So have to stay together means like we can go further without the past, and we can go in the future. We can't forgive like the past and go to the future. So, and also like all the symbols are understood by people around the world. So it was like the first communication when the human being starts to live on Earth. So it was like remembers like the ancestral value, ancestral message through the symbol. There is some signification for sure behind them. So I let the people with their own experience try to understand each symbol. But also if you see like the ace look at up, it's like ask like they look the sky as to have like some answer, but also to try to get more culture, try to get to know what's going on. So this is why I just put the eyes in that direction, like ask to universe to give us like some answer about what's going on right now. So for me, it's like my favorite painting. I very like them.
And I have one more question that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
But where do you see your art practice going from here?
So what you mean, like?
Like, do you have any styles that you'd like to kind of explore? Are there any ideas within this exhibition that you'd like to expand on?
Yeah, I think so. There is two things I would like to go deeper on it. So it's like the Bibu for sure. Like I would like to do like a big wall with different color, still with different color, or maybe like a block color, maybe in black, maybe in white, or maybe like in pink. I really want to explore this thing, but also I'm thinking about explore the symbol, because like symbol is very powerful message. So I was thinking to do like different color with a different symbol, or maybe put more ace. But it's kind of that direction I would like to do.
Wonderful. And we'll just check with Janice to see if we have any questions from Facebook. But now's a good time to mention, if you have a question, please go ahead and pop it in the chat for Ghislain. We'll see.
Actually, Melanie Ellery had asked if you had ever tried animation, or if you had worked in animation.
No, I never. I never tried to do some animation. But yeah, so I'm inspired by everything, like through the BG, through like I like manga, I like all the 2D and 3D, and I was thinking, so I met someone who does like animation, and maybe trying to have like something with my Bibu through animation. I don't know. I'm still thinking about the process, but yeah, for sure, it's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
Suzanne, in your original proposal, you had mentioned that when we look at each other, we don't really take time to talk or have real conversations, and that this causes separation.
Yeah.
And you said people often fear newcomers and change, but at the same time they would like to know more about them. And you wanted that part of the goal was to address this situation. Do you want to speak to that?
So is my opinion for sure. And also this is why I made this exhibition, like the name means a lot, like are we still together? Because you can feel there is like a disconnection with the people. So as far we go, we are more connected with internet. So I mean, I can speak to someone through my cell phone, through my computer, and he's maybe to another country, but we're missing like the physical connection. So means like there is like misunderstanding about being together and being like through the computer. So being together means try to help each other, try to understand like the difference to other people, try to understand ourselves to be better, to speak with other people. So yeah, for sure, it's a path we have to go through to make maybe the world better.
We have a question on Facebook that it says that the writer is curious if there's a meaning. A meaning or an inspiration regarding the name Bibu.
The name Bibu comes from my girlfriend. Yeah, because she always so we have every day. So I make like a joke about that, like trying to find a new name for her. So today could be like Bibu, and tomorrow could be like Babu. So I have always like some new name. And Bibu, I keep that one because it was like, I like it's a short name, but it means lots of things, and also it's like keep of cozy, so it's like children, but kind of cool.
Going back to the discussion regarding newcomers, I know that after living in France, you've also lived for a while in the United States, and then the past 3 years you've been in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know whether you felt any of the disconnection, or if was this spurred by anything that has happened to you in being a newcomer to Canada?
Yeah, I was thinking also of this, but I think is the idea is, yeah, for sure, I'm a newcomer in Canada, and I was very welcomed by the people here. I feel very grateful to be in Canada, so it's, especially in Vancouver, it's beautiful. Nothing happened to me, but it's just like, I think for, I was in French, and I'm traveling to different countries, and I'm trying to understand like the difference between our culture, try to learn like a new culture, and I think some people don't try to understand the different culture from different countries. So yeah, for me, I think it was like one way to say something about traveling and try to be a part of something with the people.
Okay, and on that thought, Melanie has another question. She says that she's curious how much of the work stems from you being new to Canada, and how much comes from the fact that we've been living in a pandemic.
I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot. Every day I have a new idea. I think the problem will be I'm living in an apartment, so my studio is in my apartment, so I can't do like a big piece, or I can't produce like a lot, but I'm still producing in my head, so one day I will go through the canvas and doing it, but I was like more productive during the pandemic, because I was at home thinking about the different way to express myself, and yeah, I had more time to think about the idea, to think about the concept, to sketches, to read. So I was very more productive during the pandemic, rather than when I'm just working every day.
So have you gone back into work in the film industry at this point?
I'm still working in the film industry, and I have to pay my rent, I have to pay my food, but I would like to go further to be like professional artist. So I'm balancing right now between like working in movie, part-time, because 2 years ago I was working like full-time every day, during maybe 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months. and I didn't have the time to do or to think about my artwork or to think about the concept. But right now, since the pandemic, I choose to concentrate myself to be an artist rather to try to upgrade my position in movie. But movie also give me a lot of idea to do my art. So it's, I'm trying to have like a good balance between movie because I like movie, I like also fashion, but my path right now, I think in my head is to become like a professional artist. So I'm still emerging artist, and I'm going through.
You're working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working hard.
Also, in some of your earlier statements, you had said that your different work draws a parallel on the mechanisms that govern relationships between individuals, and that you study social phenomena and behaviors, but also the evolution of our society in the way of communicating.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so I like sociology. I like also like observing our society, where we're going, and through that I'm doing my painting. I find my ID through the fact of society, but I think is sociology and fact of society and everything give me the way or give me the key to do my art. So without that, I think I will do something, but not in this way. And I like to think. I like to not just to think, but asking like the question, and asking the question to people or asking the question to myself, and I trying to find the answer through books or through painting or through like each conversation with people. So this is the way for me to find myself.
Now I heard you speak a bit about the historical factors of the symbols.
Mm-hmm.
So that relates back to earlier times and much earlier artists. But would you say that are there any contemporary artists that are inspirations to you in the type of work that you're doing?
Yeah, so there is a lot of different artists inspire me. There is Takashi Murakami, so he's like a Japanese guy, so I really like that work. There is also like Basquiat, so he does like a lot of things with the words, with the symbols also. So there is like different artists, but the symbols I didn't got that from someone. So actually the idea of symbols is like I was in France, like in Normandy. I was walking through the street and I went to a shop, and through this shop I saw like a picture with different bubbles and with a different symbol, and I was like, yeah, so this gave me the inspiration to do something with a symbol. And to have this symbol, I just read a lot of books. So I just come back from France and I bought a new books about symbols to have like more information about that. So this is, I think, pop art inspired me. So I'm inspired by the pop art, but symbol is very, I think, is very new. And also like symbols was used in Africa, so we have all the symbols. So I don't know why, but there is like a big vibration for me, like with the symbols.
Okay. Earlier today, CBC was here interviewing you, and it will be video on the French CBC. Do you want to say a few words to let those who are French speakers
Yeah.
to watch you say it in French?
I can say it in French. I think it's good also like to speak in
In
English.
English and French.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go first by English. So I had like a pleasure this morning to be interviewed by CBC Radio. So you can find this interview about the exhibition through CBC. I didn't have time to see it or to watch it today. But for sure I will tonight. So this is for English people, and for French people. J'ai eu l'honneur d'avoir cette interview avec la radio CBC Canada. Donc vous retrouverez toutes les informations à propos de cette exposition, à propos des questions qui ont été posées à travers la radio CBC Vancouver. Et je pense qu'il ne faut pas se tromper, mais moi je me trompe encore parce qu'il y a CBC Radio Canada et CBC Vancouver. Donc je crois que c'est CBC Vancouver sur laquelle sera diffusée l'émission sur laquelle on a tourné ce matin.
Okay, there are no more questions. There's some lovely comments on the Facebook page, so I recommend you have a look at it afterwards.
Okay,
And
thanks a lot.
there's no more questions. Or did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I'm glad to have people over the computer and speak about and asking some questions. I'm very also like grateful to have this exhibition at Pomar. Thanks Janice. Thanks all the team at Pomar. It was like.
Where can we find you? What's your website?
So you can, yeah, sure. So I have a website. So my website is Ghislain Brown-Kossi.com. You can find me also on Instagram. So it's like brown.kossi. I will give you all the information in comment. And I hope you will see me to another wonderful exhibition. Thanks a lot. Bye.
So I'll come in. If you want to come out, I'll come
Okay.
in. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed Ghislain's talk. Actually, you can find out more information about him. He has a profile on our artist directory page, and that will include connections to his social media links as well as his website. And you can find out about him there. Also, the digital gallery gives you a bit more information about him and the artwork. I'm so happy you were able to join us here this evening. Next week, as I mentioned earlier, we will be live again in one of the other galleries with Matt Holmstrom for his artist talk and tour. And Ghislain will have a look at the Facebook comments, so you can always post a question in there and he'll still have time to answer it. Thank you. He'll have time to answer it in the comments, sorry, not live. Anyhow, thank you very much for coming, and I hope you'll join us again next week. Good night.